Newsletters means reaching readers. Your author newsletter is the gold standard for maintaining a personal connection with your readers. Do you have a newsletter? If so, excellent. If not, we recommend you get one sooner rather than later. A vital connection. It's important and fun to have your social streams with friends and followers, but it's vital to have an email list of readers. If a reader quits that social media account or if the provider's policies change, you may no longer have direct contact with them. Additionally, by maintaining a list of readers' emails, you have the opportunity to share news, releases, and shower them with confetti. I'm a big fan of confetti. There are numerous email subscriber services that are user-friendly, reliable, and range from free to paid. Often, they'll offer the service free of charge up to a certain number of subscribers. Newsletter providers. We've used several different services over the years, and others we've heard good things about. Each has its pros and cons, so do a bit of research and see which will suit your needs. Among them are MailChimp, ConvertKit, MailerLite, this is what we use, Flowdesk, their templates are very pretty, and MadMimi. New to newsletters? If you're new to newsletters, check out your favorite authors' sites and enter your email to subscribe. Don't forget to confirm your subscription. Oftentimes there's a double opt-in. Not only will you be in the loop for their latest release, you can also learn from the pros about format and content. Don't be a copycat, but think like your reader, because you are one. What do you like about their newsletter? What grabbed your attention? What made you click through? Once you have a sense of the format, style, and content, then sign up with a newsletter host. You might be asking, what do I do now? To start, how often do you want to send your newsletter? For one of my author names, I send it quarterly, coinciding with the change in seasons, and for another, I send weekly. How often to send? There is no rule about this, but some things to help you decide are your readership, what's realistic for you, and if you're leveraging newsletter swaps as part of your promo strategy. See the lesson on that topic for more. Whatever you decide, the most important thing is to send consistently. For my weekly emails, I make them in batches and schedule them to automatically send ahead of time. You want to strengthen your trust with your readers and follow through on your set schedule. Newsletter tip. Your calendar, agenda, planner, diary will come in handy here. Don't forget to jot down a reminder so you don't forget to send. Each newsletter service is slightly different and might use some other language, but when I started, I felt pretty lost. The next slides offer a quick overview of common terms related to newsletters. Newsletter terms. Dashboard, homepage, will give you an overview of your account, often with relevant info. Campaign, your individual newsletter. If I want to send a newsletter to my readers on the release day of my book, for example, July 15th, I will create a campaign for that newsletter. If you send monthly, that unique mailing is your campaign. Usually there will be a record of your sent campaigns, drafts, and scheduled campaigns. Newsletter terms continued. Subscribers. These are the people who have opted in to receive your newsletter. Most services have options to segment your readers or subscribers. For instance, if you write in 2 different genres, or if you have readers who only want new release information rather than your weekly update, you can group them according to your needs. It's also worth noting that most services charge you a fee based off your subscriber count. Some use the total number of actual subscribers, and others count the total subscribers that you've ever had, including the emails of people who have unsubscribed because they still have to store that information. So that goes toward your total count. Newsletter terms continued. Forms. Most services also have the option to create a variety of ways for people to sign up. This includes pop-up forms. You embed this on your website and a pop-up box comes up when someone visits, asking if they'd like to join your newsie. There's also embedded code, which is something you'd also apply to your website, but it's permanent, like a bar across the top, or a sign-up box you paste somewhere into the HTML of your website. Lastly, there are landing pages, also sometimes called static page, where you can share more information about what you do along with collecting emails. All of these have customizable text and colors along with images when applicable. Newsletter terms continued. Automation. This is also sometimes called a flow, drip feed, email sequence, onboarding sequence, etc. When a new person subscribes to your newsletter, you can create a series of emails they'll receive that can further introduce you to them, what you do, and or segment them into various subscriber lists. Often, these can be put on delay over a series of days or weeks. Double opt-in. This is a feature you can enable to be sure you're getting real emails from real people and not bots. Newsletter terms continued. GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation 2016-679, is a regulation in EU law on data protection and privacy for all individual citizens of the European Union and the European Economic Area. It also addresses the transfer of personal data outside the EU and EEA areas. All newsletter hosting services should offer the ability to enable this as well as explain in detail what to do and how. And this applies to people that actually live and send their email outside of the European Union. Template. Creating a template that you repeatedly use in your email saves time. It also is great because you can customize everything according to your author brand. Newsletter terms continued. Your email address. This can get a little sticky for your email recipients. Email service providers like Gmail, Yahoo, etc. screen for spam to protect their users, but sometimes they get it wrong. It's better to use a return email address that contains your domain after the @ symbol to avoid this rather than awesomeauthor@hotmail.com during your onboarding sequence. You can remind subscribers to include your email in their contacts and always check their spam if they haven't heard from you. Newsletter terms, last one. Opens, the number or percentage of subscribers who opened your newsletter. Clicks, the number or percentage of subscribers who clicked on the links in your newsletter. Newsletter tour. Subject line. These can make or break your open rates. If you simply write, "Hi," there's a slim chance people will open, and worse, it could be sent to spam. Amy and I email each other a gajillion times a day, and we're always trying to come up with funny subject lines. If humor isn't your thing, just be sure they're engaging, spark curiosity, or make it clear why the people on the other end of the email should open the thing. Top banner. This can be your logo, name, or anything pertaining to your branding for ease of recognition. Newsletter tour continued. Greeting. It's always nice to include a greeting, personal update, or a few sentences instead of jumping right into content. Content. Whatever you want it to be. See below for ideas. Sign off. Just as you would with a written letter, it's nice to include a sign off. Social media links so your readers can find you wherever they hang out. Newsletter tour continued. Physical address. This is a requirement. You do not have to use your home address. In fact, we suggest you do not. Open a post office box or get an online post office box to use. Some are free and others charge you when you receive an item, which they will then forward to you. Unsubscribe information. You must offer the option to unsubscribe. Most service providers will automatically insert this link for you. Do's. Warm up your email. Imagine your ideal reader, and when you're creating your email, imagine you're sending it to them specifically. No one wants to be talked to by a book-selling robot. Be a genuine, real person. Engage. Ask them a question and invite them to reply. Encouraging subscriber engagement improves open rates. Edit. I recommend reading it aloud before you click send. Don'ts. Don't slap it together. Don't spam your readers, and never add someone to your list without their permission. What to include in your newsletter. Keep a document or notebook and jot down ideas on what you want to include in your newsletter so you're not scrambling at the last minute to find links in the article you didn't want to forget to share. Here are 5 prompts to get your juices flowing. 1. Images, such as teasers with instructions on how readers can share them. What to include in your newsletter continued. 2. Something from real life, such as a recent vacation, a 3-tiered cake inspired by your book, or your latest and wackiest hairstyle. 3. A book in your genre that your readers must check out. 4. Ask a question, such as what kind of bonus content they'd like. 5. Events that you're part of, such as sales, freebies, and Facebook takeovers. Bonus. Want 10 more content ideas and a very important tip? If you haven't already, sign up for the Write, Publish, Promote newsletter and we'll send them your way. See what I did there?